All right, how's everybody doing? DJ Powers Family Farm. So, our first kind of video back here, I actually bought a new to me farm truck, tow rig, maybe daily driver. We'll see. But the big thing about this video is I'm going to read the ad that kind of piqued my interest in this truck before I actually purchased it. And yes, I did buy it, and I got it very cheap. That is why I bought it, which you'll kind of see here in a minute. So let me read this exact ad to you and tell me what you would, before you go on to the next part of the video, comment if you would have bought it or you would have went and looked at it, okay? So let me pull this up real quick, and I'm going to put this in a little graphic somewhere over here maybe if I can figure it out. If not, mental note, okay? Let's see here, where is it at? Okay, the description. It's a 1988 F-250 with a 7.3 International diesel, the pre-power stroke, no turbo, so it's naturally aspirated, manual transmission, okay? And I'm going to read this ad to you verbatim. So, the trans has new synchros, new injectors 20,000 miles ago, new glow plugs, and a relay at the same time. Switch column from tilt wheel to straight and have a good rust-free prime front driver's fender. Yes, the driver's fender is rusty bad. All gears grab really good. The tires were done last fall. Truck hasn't moved much this year, as I got a newer one. Would make a good farm hay truck, good project, whatever. Then he goes on to say the box is in really good shape, the tailgate works, and has a gooseneck ball. Now, there's going to be a few things you're going to see that are wrong with this ad, and we'll get to that in a second. But we'll kind of break this down, and there's some things that aren't listed on here that he probably should have listed on here. So I don't know if this video is going to be what not to buy or what to look for or any of that stuff. We're just kind of going to go look at the new project truck, and it is going to be a project, so I want to get it kind of set up for hauling and stuff I need done when we get the new property and things like that. And then at the end of this video, we'll kind of have a little conversation about the future of the farm and the plans moving forward. But let's go and take a look at this beast. Okay, so here it is, and as you can see, that cosmetic-wise, there's a lot of things they're all jacked up on it. Someone tried to plastic coat the front, which is whatever. Tires are actually decent. It's out of alignment. These are getting kind of round. So we can walk around here. Here's some rust and the fun stuff. And the tailgate actually does not go down, so that was a lie. I think he might have meant it's there. Like I said, the tires are all right. Interior is fairly clean. I've kind of did some cleaning out. It's got some wiring gremlins. Okay, so let me switch this around here and kind of chat with you. One sec. Okay, so the young man, he mentioned that he did new injectors it's new injectors, new glow plugs, and a new relay. But what that ad failed to mention is that they don't work. They might be new, but whatever he did not work, and I will kind of show that to you in a minute. So here, let me turn this around here so you can see the weight to start. So here's I'm turning the key. Not a zip zero. There's not a thing happening there. The relay doesn't even click. So he did something entirely wrong there. Or he lied, I don't know. He definitely changed the glow plugs out, because there was a bunch of crappy ones in the back. But the glow plugs do not work. Also failed to mention, so this is the ignition here. This has been changed out with a ignition cylinder, probably from a gas truck, so it doesn't have all the positions needed to actually fire it up. So it has a push button right here. And again, that was not mentioned in the ad at all. So that's awesome. But again, things happen. I did buy it, so I'm not, obviously, I kind of look past some of these things. This interior is, it's something else. So this kid was a young kid. He wasn't, he's probably 19 maybe, if that. So it looks like he tried to paint the doors black. I guess he didn't like the classic Ford red, which I dig it, doesn't bother me at all. He did do Try to change out the radio. I think barely works. I think one speaker works and it pops. Sounds terrible. But again, I'm not looking to be thumping any tunes in here anytime soon, so that was not a big concern. So now, let me go on to the other problems with this truck. So the alignment is horrible. I mean, it's bad. So the steering wheel, when you're on, it'll be like all the way like this to go straight down the road. And he has new tires with a crappy alignment, so he got one tire already kind of cupping on that one side. So he clearly didn't really know what he was up to. So let's get on to the other problems with this truck. So it is a manual transmission, which is what I really wanted anyway. It shifts okay. I wouldn't say it grabs all the gears good. I don't know why he would even put that in his ad, because that's clearly not factual. And we'll get out and we'll do a road run with it. But fourth gear grinds unless you jam this clutch all the way to the firewall and you just baby it in. She'll pop into fourth gear. So new synchros, I don't know why I would put that. If he did it, he did a terrible job. And this transmission is also very loud. It's very whiny, so it's going to need a rebuild. But I do have, we're going to change the fluids out in it. Maybe that a little, some additives, make it a little thick. Maybe it'll quiet it down. But once you're in the gears, it does go through the gears. So I guess I won't be that picky about it. But he made a point to say that it had brand new synchros in it, which is, again, why do it when you're not being brutally honest. And on to the front here, that rusty fender, which I do have. It did come with one, so I won't complain that hard about it. He did mention it. This one hand. Okay. So another wire. So this is the wiring to the push button. You can see where he wired that in. Now, for those of you who don't know this truck, or you do know these engines, this right here, he made his own, I guess you call it the glow plug harness. So this he did all himself, and it's all the way through. He kind of spliced in and did his own kind of thing, which I'm sure that's probably where he's getting the problems, since those are going to rely on resistance. That's probably where I'm going to start when I start tearing this apart, to kind of get it looked at. It did smoke a little bit when I went out and looked at it. But after driving it, 40 miles or so, it's kind of cleared up. So it probably was from sitting, or the diesel fuel, but it did have some blow by in the stick, which I'll kind of show you also if I get time in this video. Another major thing that this truck, which was not even listed in the ad, was it did not have any brakes. There was zero brakes when I looked at it. So I had to go and get a vacuum pump. I've installed that. I didn't do a video on that because I don't know, I was kind of cussing and swearing trying to get that pulley off at the old one, but now it has brakes, and the brakes seem to work pretty good. But again, when I went out there, it had no brakes, so it was all manual brakes, because on these trucks, the diesel engine does not make enough vacuum to run the master cylinder. So with this here, we seem to have brakes again. So that's another thing that was not listed in the original ad. And that does bring me to the injectors now. It's kind of hard to tell because the glow plugs, they don't work. So hard starting, obviously, you have to give it a little sniff of the good stuff to get it to run, which I'm referring to ether. It will fire up and it will idle okay after it goes through its high idle cycle. But again, none of that was listed. It didn't say, if you read it, it sounds like that it was going to run and be fine, and it did not. So that was fun. So I don't know about the injectors, but if you did replace the injectors, I highly doubt that they were new ones. Just kind of looking at them, this is the third of these particular engines that I've owned, so I kind of pretty familiar with them, and I don't think they were new. And if they were, they weren't tested, so you have to pop test them to make sure that they're actually going to fire when they're supposed to, since it all is done mechanically. That's why I really like these trucks. It's all mechanical injection, mechanical everything. There's not a computer on these at all, unless you count that little processor that kind of runs off resistance to check the glow plugs and things like that. But we'll deal with that in another video. So I got it really cheap. All right, before you start judging me, I got it incredibly cheap. It's a good project. It'll be something that'll work well. And once I get all these little gremlins sorted, it should be a really solid truck. These things run on pretty much anything. There's not a whole lot that can fail on them. I mean, the injection pump could Whenever they just wear out and it results in hard starting. But usually once they're going, they'll just go, right? There's nothing that can hinder it really, because it's all, like I said, mechanical. It's got compression and fuel. She's gonna fire and she's gonna go down the road. So let's move on to a couple other things here. Okay, the ad did say with a gooseneck. Now, those of you who've used a gooseneck, what is missing from here? You know, comment below, what is missing? So you hook your gooseneck up, latch it in, then what? I'll wait for you all to kind of figure that out. Just pause it, tell me below, and then we'll continue on. So now that you've done your commenting, it doesn't have any place for safety chains, and nor does it has a bunch of crap in the back, so it came with a bunch of junk. But it also doesn't have a place to hook up your trailer lights, trailer brake, any of that stuff. So it's just literally a ball sitting in here. And so I'm going to have to rewire that. I'm going to have to weld in some shackles here for the safety chains. So, all that being said, what do y'all think? Right? Was I crazy? Is this just going to be a basket case that's just going to be a pain in my butt every time I go to use it? I don't think so. I mean, like I said, I got it dirt cheap. It is a, you know, it is the combination I want. It's 3/4 ton, manual transmission, 4-wheel drive, which does work. I checked it out. The one light doesn't come on for 4 high, but it comes on for 4 low, and it does engage at 4 high, so it must just be the switch in there to light up my dash. It doesn't work. Oh, another thing. So it said in the ad, I didn't read that part to you, 127,000 miles on it. Highly doubt it, because it's a 5-digit odometer, and given it's a young kid, he probably didn't want to say, I have no idea. 227, you know, maybe 327, who knows, has a lot of miles on it, I'm sure. It's not in the worst shape. I'll do another video here when I kind of start digging into it, and you'll kind of see this truck as the channel progresses. But just wanted to quick introduce you to this, and then get your comments below. So now you've kind of seen the truck. I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys think of it. It'll be great for hauling animals. Eventually we'll be set up for a gooseneck to haul trailers and, you know, hay and all that fun stuff that we've had to do in the past. Because I no longer have a pickup truck, so I bought that one. Now, as far as the future of the actual farm goes, so the old property that I was renting was a little too far north. It was a little too far to travel to be able to keep track of all the animals and make sure that they were properly being taken care of. So not too long after that last video, I had a conversation with the gentleman that I was renting from, and we reached kind of understanding. I sold the animals to him, and then I just kind of dropped it at that. It was just becoming so much driving, and I couldn't be there. The animals were, you know, if they get out, if they get hurt, I'm not right around the corner. So the next goal is to, again, find a property to rent, but this time I've learned a lot that previous time. So now I have a lot of, I know what my needs are and what my wants are, and I know kind of a better way to go about it. So the next video, I'm going to kind of break down what we're looking for in the next property. I'm going to keep you informed of ones I'm looking at. This is going to be right from the beginning. So my last, when I started this channel, I already had the property and I had an animal, right? I just kind of went and did it. But this next bit that we start here is going to be that adventure from finding the property, finding the first animals, and doing that whole thing together. So you're going to see everything from start to finish. I'm hoping this time around, I love goats. They're a great animal to handle, to manage. You know, they're great. I mean, anyone who owns them knows they're great. But I also want to get into some cows and some things like that. So the property, I wanted to have a bigger property, and that's going to come down to what is in close proximity. So I'm thinking no further than 15 minutes from my house. Now I've moved kind of to the north side, so I'm a lot closer to farm country to the north of us here in the great state of Michigan here. So there should be something that will pop up. Hopefully it's going to be in the right price range, and then we'll kind of go from there. So again, I want to keep content moving again, because I know a lot of people have been watching, and I want to get back out here and start having our little conversations. So let me know how you feel about the new farm truck, the new project. We'll probably end up calling it the basket case, because I'm sure as soon as I start getting to one thing, there'll be a problem over here, and it's going to kind of be a progression. But I'm not in a huge hurry, because like I said, we don't have the property yet. I have some leads, which I will break down for you. But as of right now, I just want to get back into the habit of making these videos and reaching out to everybody. So again, I hope everyone's been great. I'm going to get this video out today, and I just love to hear your thoughts. And again, the next video we'll get more into the truck and I'll get more details. It's kind of in a bad spot in my driveway. I can't really pan around it very well, and I was gonna do some driving, but I don't have my my tripod to hold stuff up, so I try to drive that thing holding it, and that'd just be no point being unsafe. Yeah, so that is it. I hope everyone's been great, and I will talk to you all soon.